So I got some things from the bookstore. This is a mug here, and some, just a lot of medals and stuff. It's actually called. Let me take my mask off. It's actually called the apparition. Sorry, I said in an earlier video, is Our Lady of Good Hope. It's Our Lady of Good Help is actually the name of this devotion and this apparition that came from Adele, who was a Belgian immigrant and came to the States and was like a school teacher, and then Mary appeared to her and said, all your sisters in Belgium are serving me. Why aren't you serving me? Or are you ready to serve me? She was like 28 or something, and then she asked Adele to teach the children in this wild country, as I said in the other video. But I said Our Lady of Good Hope. So I don't know if I'm going to figure out how to edit that out and say it's Our Lady of Good Help. But these came from the bookstore. And also, like I said, one of her names, she could have actually been named Our Lady Queen of Heaven in this apparition, because there is a statement about that if you study it. But this was all a part of Adele's devotion to Mary, that when she was from Belgium, and she started it in the devotion. Actually, it came originally from France, which a lot of the devotions come from, like, for example, the Miraculous Medal, and just, Lourdes, all these, and many others. But they had, I guess, she had the devotion in Belgium, and then when she came here, she continued that devotion. Our Lady of Good Help. And then, after the apparition, it stuck, obviously, because that's the only apparition that's bishop approved in the United States of America. And Mary said, "Go gather the children in this wild country and teach them, basically the Catholic faith." And I think she did a good job. I don't know if she's up for sainthood or whatever, Adele, but here's some images of Our Lady of Good. Our Lady of Good Help, not hope. I said hope the whole video. I gotta learn this. See, Our Lady of Good Help, not hope. There's also devotion Our Lady of Good Help, like Our Lady of Perpetual Help, and there's many. But this is Our Lady of Good Help. That's it. And this was Adele's. The name of Adele's, I guess, favorite devotion to Mary. And as I said earlier, it was also in. It also made it to Montreal, Old Montreal, which is, the French part of the French Catholic part of the country, and so it made it there. And I've been to Old Montreal. Sometimes I used to fly through there when I went to New York. I would go to Montreal, but it's a little harder to go over the border now, so I don't do that anymore. But I went to I went to Chicago first. I'm heading to New York from San Francisco. I went to Chicago and I drove up from Chicago. It was a really cheap flight, but then they got me on the rental, and it was crazy trying to get up here. It was like a 3-hour drive. And I thought I was going to be going along the lake too, this beautiful view. The view was okay, I mean, but I was hoping to see, like, because on the map it's like a right along, I think it's Lake Michigan, one of the major lakes. I didn't see much water. And then I made some wrong turns, and it was just, but I finally made it, and I got to the bookstore before it closed. And but it's it's a beautiful devotion, and I got a few others. Well, this is her. This is sort of a, yeah, this is really, an image of, that's really unique in a way. You don't really see such a like blonde hair. I guess it's really American. Then here's another one. It says the National Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help, Champion, Wisconsin. And another thing happened here. There was, Mary helps in the spiritual realm, but also in the physical realm, in many of the apparitions. And there was this huge fire. Well, you had the famous Chicago fire, but then there was a fire around this area at the same time. It didn't get as much press, but it just devastated the whole area. But the story goes that it never touched. It was all around this area, but it never actually touched this place where Mary touched down. So I just wanted to show these meadows and make sure I made the correction. This is Our Lady of Good Help, not Good Hope, which is a great devotion too, especially Our Lady of Perpetual Help. But this is, I got that wrong in the last video. I'm going to try to edit it. Our Lady of Good Help. And it started, like I said, this devotion started in France. And Adele picked it up in Belgium. And then she brought it to the United States. And then Mary appeared